I'll make a motion to appoint Brad Miller as the new trustee.
I'll second. Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve Brad Miller as the new trustee for the Nucla Town Board. Okay,
Yes.
Tim,
Abstain.
I'll vote yes.
Yes.
Jason, yes. Congratulations, Brad. Thank you. Thank you very much. Are we doing the oath tonight?
I wasn't prepared to do
Okay, ma'am. So sit in with us tonight, but she'll give the oath, or we'll do the oath at the next meeting if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, and feel free to, if you have questions, you know, as we're talking about stuff. Do you have a copy of the agenda even, or would you like one?
I have it on my laptop.
We're live too.
Thank you. Oh. And Miss Jessica says we're live. Okay. Magic touch, better done. All right, the next item is to approve or give permission for the car club to display their cars on the lawn at the park for the 4th of July water days. I think Chris has been here and chatted with us previously, but she usually comes for approval by the board, so.
Do we need to make a motion for that permission then?
Yeah,
Okay,
I guess.
I'll make a motion that we give them permission to display on the Nucla Park lawn. As long as there's no burnouts on the pretty lawn. I'm gonna try to forget that kind of behavior.
Divots.
No divots.
No divots.
I'll second. All right. We have a motion and a second to approve, or give permission for the car show display on the Nucla Town lawn. Amy,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
I'll vote yes. Tim,
Yes.
Penny,
Yes.
motion carried. Thank you, you're good to go. This is in the nick of time here. Next item is a review and discussion of the Camp V temporary housing special use permit proposal.
That makes-
And there's a comment period, so. Yeah, go ahead, Amy. I'm sorry.
No, I'm anxious to hear what Tim has to say about it. And it follows all the new codes that they just approved, like, did you go through it? With your engineering mind?
And I haven't looked at the Montrose County codes yet, as far as if they dotted all their i's and crossed their t's. Struck me right off the bat is there's no alternates assessment, which is part of the special use permit requirement. So they did not list any alternatives that were considered. I think that's a huge part of this, because I've sat in a meeting with Mr. Dale Reed and he said they had alternatives available, so
Mhm.
for them not to list those is, to me, it's not within the requirements of the special use permit. Water wise, they're pulling from the San Miguel River, so, but they do have their own water rights, so they can exercise those. And it'd just be a matter of whether we end up in drought conditions, what effect that has, so they put a option in there to buy water, so I assume they have that set up with someone. They mentioned the well, but I thought they mentioned their own well versus their withdrawal point down to the river, so. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. Quite frankly, I'm in general opposed to that workforce facility for its purpose in the West End. If it were for, say, supporting the building of a mill or a school or something that's benefiting the West End, I'd be all for it. I'd have no problem with it, as long as they met all the requirements for the county. But for this purpose, no. They have alternates, and I think they need to list those, and they need to be debated. So that's my general overview, and I think the alternates issue is a fairly big one and substantial. All of their economic benefit calculations were based on Telluride. There was nothing listed for the West End Montrose County. So.
I'm glad that you mentioned something about, you know, I read in here about the water, that if they ran low, that they were gonna bring it in. But I just made an assumption there that they were probably gonna try to buy potable water from the towns of Nucla and Natarita. So we think they have
mentioned
another
that-
option.
yeah, I thought their dimension was only their own existing well up on top of the bluff there.
Okay.
But I would have to re-review that, and then they're gonna have to specify where they're buying water from, if they have to buy water, because obviously, if it's bought from the towns, that just puts us back in the same problem we had before, is supplying water to a system that doesn't do us any real benefit and just is
Well,
cost
it's
for.
the possibility of having a lack of source water to even produce, so we're back to the same conversation with them, so.
Well, I think they mentioned the pond,
Yeah,
so whatever they have in the pond.
that's their withdrawal point.
And that's the way
Okay.
I pulled it from. Any other
He
thoughts?
talks about reverse osmosis, but that is a microfiltration plant, just like Mustang water out there. It's not a RO unit. So, but they would have to expand that, and they can do that, so, the waste disposal is pretty much a standard, kind of a universal septic system these days. Those are pretty common, so it's not as if they're not proposing some weird thing or some bare bones thing. It's pretty standard unit, so. And I didn't see anything in there about impacts on EMS and the sheriff's department. And I didn't really review their traffic deal yet, so.
And, I don't know. Yeah, the alternates, I like it down at Camp B. They've got their own little city, I mean, so I
I
don't
think
know
the
that there's any.
I think the alternates that you're referring to was not even in the area, am
They
I?
mentioned Dolores County.
Oh.
They were missing other counties, so,
Oh,
yeah.
interesting. Which they're having their own issues, with water, Dove Creek and, that's, not Stefan, yeah, I've seen, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So does the board want to prepare, comments? What was the deadline on that again, Jeff?
July 2nd.
I thought. But right there, right in front of me. Did you guys want to have something sent in on behalf of the town?
I think so. I think everybody wants to think about it. We get something in by no later than Monday.
Did you have any thoughts on it, Jason? I know you were kind of perusing it there, but if you have anything,
No, I've
share.
been looking at it, I just wonder, they talked about an influx of 215 workers at one point, but they have parking spots for 70. Where's all this extra cars gonna be going? They don't have like an overflow parking lot or anything designated for other parking.
They've got a lot of vacant ground up there on that plat though.
Right.
Mhm.
But they don't have anything listed as grading it out for overflow parking or
Yeah,
how stormwater is gonna be affected when they start grading all this out. They're using the same roads and we have the same existing little culverts
Yeah.
if we ever get rain.
hey, it's
Yeah,
happening
it's
right
happening
now.
right now.
Yeah.
They haven't touched the dirt yet.
Oh, yeah.
It'll dry in 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, my problem with this overall too is the fact that if this camp goes in, then if there's mill construction starting within the next 3 years, it's gonna be right when this thing's going on. So now they're gonna have to have another workforce facility. There's no way they got the labor around here to build mills, so you're gonna have to import labor for that. I know they're already probably contemplating importing labor for, mining. I ran into that problem with Blue Rock. They wanted to actually bring in Canadian miners, and I convinced them we had enough around here, and I was wrong. So,
Rudy, did you have a comment?
Yeah, my understanding was, man camp or whatever they put up there, you call it work camp.
Mhm.
On Camp V, I thought originally those people were gonna be transferred from there down to the Rimrock.
That's,
And now I'm hearing that they're gonna be having that one and possibly another one.
well, I think both, the Rimrocker, the hotel, and this request for workforce housing up at Camp B, they're planning on using both areas. So, yeah.
they were talking about putting permanent staff in Rimrock. So that'd be housekeeping and other stuff that they have.
Because wasn't that take its toll on this water drought or whatever's coming on and,
It does, but
yeah,
that's yet. to
your
be
septic and
determined.
all that?
Yeah, but that's yet to be determined, so, I mean, that's really kind of in Natalie's bailiwick to figure out how to handle that.
Mhm.
And then then it would go from there, it would go to, of course, if that impacts the general area as in Mustang Ladder and then Nucla. From there, but 100 people, probably not. Overall, depends on the drought conditions, depending on the water supply. I mean, I'm losing ground in the reservoir right now with what water shows we're putting in, which is 30 from Nucla. So, I'm slowly losing ground in the reservoir right now due to evaporation and heavy use, so I'm up to pushing 400,000 gallons a day, treated water out. Up from about 250 in the early spring, early spring, so. Which is not quite unusual. But we'll see how it goes once they staff up down there. I mean, you're adding 100 people, you're adding pushing 20% population increase in Narita, just like that.
And we got a really large tourism grant also. So I'm wondering if having that workforce housing down there doesn't contradict their tourism grant. I mean, I'm sure there's special parameters with that. What was it, 2 million, 1 million, 1.5? I don't remember what it was
I don't know
exactly,
the exact amount either,
but I mean, they built quite the art studio and things like that with that. And so I wonder if that,
Mhm.
we may hinder that.
Mhm. Good. All right, so Jessica, do you have some ideas there of something that you could start a draft and then?
Yeah, and then Tim can
I
edit.
was gonna say, you know, Tim will edit.
I'll just say dear.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
print out the comments and suggestions.
Just do, yeah, put the heading at the top and
Some
put
cigarette,
the,
the cigarette.
put the topics that everybody mentioned and let it go with it, so, all right, perfect. You guys ready to move forward?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
Alright.
there's also a rumor going around that they were going to buy up a lot of land up here in the near future. Is that gonna happen? To put their main camps up here?
I haven't heard anything about that.
Okay, I heard last week, yes.
So are you guys prepared tonight to, pick our representatives for the Dark Sky, group and Mustang Water? Or do you guys wanna wait until Brad is sworn in next meeting and make those selections? It's up to y'all.
I thought we had a selection. Right.
Oh.
All three.
All of them? Is that how that works?
He gets it all.
I think we could wait until he's sworn in and also that Darla's back with us and we'll have a full board, so we can make those choices, but. Just so Jason and Brad knows, what we're talking about is. There's a West End Dark Sky Alliance Committee, and we usually have a representative from this board that attends their meetings, which are usually once a month now. And then the Mustang Water Authority Board, we have 2 representatives there, and we're actually looking for an alternate from the town of Nucla, either from the board or someone that we appoint from the community on that, so. And then, what's this other one? Oh, a public information officer for the emergency services and emergency service protocol.
It's kind of new, so.
That's something new that we haven't done before, so. Okay, we'll just table that if that's good, you guys. Get everybody here. And old business, the drought resolution is still on here. I haven't made any changes to what's in the draft, the Mustang Water Board meeting. We postponed, until this coming Monday. So I haven't had any feedback from the board, even though I've sent them the revisions a couple times. So I haven't made any changes to our draft.
We can move it till they're all on board and Brad could get it before he's sworn in and looked at.
So just a little background on that is the Mustang Water Authority Board has been working on the updates to their contract for the 2 contracting parties, which is Nucla and Natarita. And that also includes our MOA, Memorandum of Understanding, which we added a drought contingency piece to that wasn't there. Which we're trying to align that with both of the town's drought contingency plan. So there's been a lot of changes made to the draft at Mustang Water, and so as soon as we get that shook out, then it kind of trickles down here to what our drought contingency draft. Or what's gonna be presented to the board for you guys' approval, so,
Okay.
okay. Let's see.
Will that be public knowledge or is that strictly?
Of course, no. In fact, once it's adopted, the drought, it'll be required that you guys follow it, so.
You'll have to study
You'll
it.
know all about it.
You'll be tested.
Yeah, it'll be a test, Ruby. All right. Okay, so there's 3 other policies here that have been floating on the agenda for a while. There's drafts that it'd probably be really nice for Brad to get a look at these too. We haven't adopted anything. The board needs to give input on all 3 of them. One is social media policy, which is for staff and for the elected officials. Technology policy, same thing, and also just some guidelines for a lodging tax advisory committee. So again, I probably would recommend that those are tabled until you have a chance to look at them and that everybody's here, we can have that conversation. Agreed? Okay. If you guys have read it though and have any input that you want to give tonight on any of those, do so. So we can adjust them accordingly. Okay.
Brad, if you come in the morning, first thing, we can get you sworn in and I get you an email and a drive and you can walk away with your hangout.
All right, the next is the intergovernmental agreements and they're in that alignment with the West End Vision Plan. And so we talked about a little bit of this during our work session with Gabe at RPI, and then I know Amy's been working on some other pieces of the IGA. Do you have anything new you wanna add tonight, Amy, or?
Nope, I think we shared that folder with everybody. Right?
Of course it is.
If they say where it's at, then.
I was gonna
It's
say,
on the trustee, yeah,
Copy.
folder, so it's called coordination,
And
but
it
it
might
has
be
all
in the
those.
old business. Folder, it might be under that because it's under old business on the agenda, so it would be under old business in the folder.
Maybe
There's
look
money. That's no wonder.
That's why we put links on the agenda now.
I love that. Ew.
But I
By the
didn't
way.
see that on there either, is it? No,
No,
there's no link
link.
on there. All right, I'll go searching for it and then.
Oh, great
I
information.
just found
I
it.
mean, it's pretty interesting what other communities have already thought of.
It's actually in the shared folder and it says coordination principles, so it's not under the old business year, it's in there.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no, it's
Okay.
something to ponder.
The reading just gets deeper and deeper. All right, so approve or deny? Review or discuss. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
testing and collaboration with the school district regarding the cell tower. Is there any new information on this?
I have some testing companies that
Okay.
I've reached out to for quotes.
Okay.
So that, cause I think it's suggested for 3 or more. And recommendations, there's certain accreditations that have to be met,
Mhm.
that are recommended to be met in order to. To be valid and, not bought off, I guess.
So do we have any bids back?
So
yet?
we don't have any back yet. I didn't really look for them in my email today though, cause,
Copies of what they're posting.
yeah, I did an RFP that was just kind of generic and what the credentials. Oh, I did talk to a couple of experts to find out what one would be asking for. I talked to somebody from the School of Mines. And I talked to somebody in the Navy.
Wow.
I didn't know who else called me out.
Smart.
I would have called Trump, but this is stuff.
But
But no, I just, the baseline I thought for us to start evaluating what we wanted in certifications. How they're gonna test, and stuff like that. So, and I'll put that out for you guys to look at
When we get it, okay,
when it does settle from all the other areas.
perfect.
I had some questions come up after the work session. I had a few actually. So what, and I have notes. When Jim was talking about the cell phone tower company. It made it sound like the town was soliciting the company, the cell phone tower to come in. And so I just want to clarify that that's something that the town has never solicited.
the
Okay.
company, company solicited, basically approached the town.
The company, Vertical Bridge.
Yeah.
Or Powder
And
River.
it was the same with, when the siding company approached Mustang Water years previous to that, a year or two previous to that, it was, they approached, they weren't solicited, so they're obviously out, trying to make money. So,
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that. I know Darla's not here, so I can talk about her.
Oh, that's how it works.
That's totally how that works. I'm like, yeah. Because I know that she was pretty upset after the meeting and during the meeting, because the school district had expressed that that was the first time that the town had reached out to them for comment. And in the previous meeting in the middle of May, you had told the board that you had been denied by the school district for a meeting. And so, she just wanted that clarified and she was not treated, I think fairly, when asking for that information. Cause you had said you had proposed last year twice to meet with the school district and having a joint meeting and was denied. And so, you know, that misinformation, you know, Darla was definitely concerned about that because she tried to ask you about that and kind of got thrown under the bus for it. So I'm concerned about the correspondence with the school district and how that was taking place, whether it was with the board president or Clint or how that all came about. Because I don't remember in any meetings last year that you proposed meeting with the school board in a joint meeting. So I'd like to know how that was done, who you corresponded with that didn't correspond back. I'd also like, to clarify the design of the monopole. Trustee Barry had said that the monopole was complete, the antennas are on the inside, and it's done and done. And that's not true. I mean,
That's what the owners had to say at the open meeting,
well,
so.
you look at the schematics, I mean, they've got the carriers, which they're like mini carriers, but there's a big, huge ice bridge. And their lease area is 20 feet by 15 feet. So they could come off, each one of those carriers could come off that pole with a huge antenna. And so I want that clarified for the public, that that monopole is not done, those antennas are gonna be huge. And that it's not live yet. I mean, cause we wouldn't be able to tell if it was live, if it was just a pole. I don't know if they have any plans to put the antennas on soon.
It's not live.
Okay. Yeah.
They are still sending in the specifications and final, like, certain things that have to go along with their building permit for federal whatever. And I think the lease space, we'll double check that, because I think that that language was redone,
Okay,
but yeah,
okay.
so. I've got like a folder that's ready. It's not everything just yet, but it'll be a good chunk for the trustees to review first before it goes out to the public.
their
Okay.
comments were that the antennas were flash.
That's what they presented to
They would
us.
not project out of the monopole. That was their presentation in the public meeting.
Okay.
So-
That- Yeah, no, looking at their plans, I'm like, oh my gosh, no, it's a massive lease area for each carrier. It's not just,
And I'll
Yeah,
address
ice
the
bridge.
concerns. I
thank you.
don't believe that I've misspoke, but I've said on more than one occasion. I didn't correspond with the school board directly. I actually met with the superintendent twice last year. I can look up the dates if that's relevant. I asked him at both of those meetings if we needed to have a joint meeting, if I needed to come, or maybe myself and another trustee come to one of their meetings. And I was told that there was not a need at this time. It wasn't denied. I was just told there wasn't a need at this time, they didn't think. So there was no written correspondence. there was the meetings that I set in person and had with Clint. And asked him if there was a need for that conversation. So I don't think I've deviated from that information. I mean, these two here will be able to tell you if they heard something different come out of my mouth, so.
Yeah, we had heard that, and so that's what we're assuming going into the work session.
I'm
And
gonna
so-
say this. One of the reasons that I suggested the joint work session is because of all of this hearsay and rumors, and somebody said that, and it's all this mixed information, instead of just asking the question and having some sort of trust in anyone. I mean, there's this mistrust that everybody's being devious and trying to lie and cover stuff up. I don't see how we get to resolution until we stop beating each other up with all of these stuff, you know. I have been open about how I feel about any of this, what I've said, what I've done. So I'm sorry that she felt upset about it.
I'm sure she'll address it at the next meeting.
I'm sure.
But, cause she's pretty upset, that she felt that way after we were told that you had reached out, and then we were told by the school district that that was the first time that you had reached out, and so we wanted to make sure that misinformation on correspondence was addressed.
So what's the what is it that I supposedly said that I reached out and did, what is it?
It was on the May 13th meeting. Yeah, I went back through and listened to it, and you had proposed the board have a joint meeting and was
And I
denied.
sent them an email. I sent them an email, and that's why we had the meeting.
Yeah,
They
but
didn't deny it.
before that. But moving forward, yes, let's move forward. But I wanna make sure, I mean, we're doing it now, making sure that the school district is okay with the companies that we have decided to look at. So I think that's a huge first step into making sure that we're doing what we need to do for the school district, so they can have that as a tool for their parents. So yes, moving forward, absolutely, but I just wanted to address that to make sure that we were communicating that correspondence correctly.
Well,
Especially with our one.
I can confirm that Paula, told us she met with Clint. And that the meeting with the full board was not deemed necessary by the superintendent, so that's as far as I can go, but that was the gist of it.
Was that in the meeting or was that in
Yeah.
the parking lot or?
Available of the seniors.
What was that meeting at the community center last year? Where they,
Information meeting by.
yeah,
With vertical bridge.
but they didn't answer hardly any of our questions, period.
Well, they,
Even after they said they'd give question and answer time, we went up to the lady that was there representing. And she wouldn't answer one damn question we wanted to know. Anybody. There were 4 of us lined up and she goes, I gotta get back on the road. She was all talk during the meeting, but then after the meeting, she wouldn't answer anything. Whoever was on the Zoom, that's who was basically saying, okay, don't tell them this, don't say this, don't say that. I was really, really upset when I left that meeting because I didn't understand the whole thing. And I was trying to get there and get an understanding of what was happening with the cell tower and the money and all this and that. And everything was just swept under the rug at that meeting.
So just to reiterate what Jessica just said, the board is about to get a whole pile of information that she has been working for months on to get all this together. The board will get a chance to review it all, and it's gonna be released to the public, so everybody can just. dig
Will there
in.
be another community meeting where they can have questions and answers, or is it just gonna be the decision?
The decision's been made like a long time ago, over a year ago, the contract was signed.
Right, I remember that. But
And the
there's been a
tower
lot of
is up.
controversy since that time.
There's been controversy, yes, definitely.
I'm just trying to understand it, because, you know, that meeting was a joke to me.
Sorry to hear that.
I would like to have an executive session with the attorney. I'd like to ask him some questions. on the lease. There's things on the lease that would really hinder our ability to even do anything if things were bad. So, I would like to have an executive session with the attorney. I definitely have some questions for him and, to get a better understanding of what we can and can't do, with that cell tower. I know we've been having some core requests requested. And so looking through that, are there copies of timesheets, invoices, or payment receipts? Indicating the last time that Melissa was paid?
There's another.
Okay. I mean, maybe that would be satisfactory.
Okay.
I would try that, but, if there's those documents, maybe that would.
And the attorney, I mean, that's all been sent to the attorney too for review because it has to do with the bridge.
Yeah.
So.
I would like to talk to the attorney.
Does the board want to meet with the attorney in executive session?
I don't have a problem.
Would it be an evening or would it be a special daytime thing? Because I'm not gonna lose work to come and do this. So there's that.
Do you want to do an executive session with the attorney? I'm sure we can make arrangements for him to Zoom in and do stuff before, so.
It would be up to the attorney.
All right, so
Yeah,
we'll have Jessica reach out to the attorney and see if he can schedule something for the next board meeting so that it's not yet another meeting. Chris, I seen you had your hand
I
there.
just had a question, after that work session a couple weeks ago with the school district.
Yes.
I spoke with Darla and asked her if she had, and I just wondered if any of the contacts that Jessica has gotten came from Darla, because she said she had, there's somebody that the Nucla Natarita does, telephone company does, work with on testing. And she was gonna reach out, and I'm sorry she's not here tonight because she probably would have those answers.
I am trying to stay as neutral on anybody being like information that I pull in,
Yeah.
anything,
But he
because
was
we don't
gonna,
want
she's
any.
gonna check with him to see if that was something that he would be able to do. And
Yeah,
I don't know if she was able to get hold of him or if she got any information. That was my question.
I can touch base with her.
Yeah,
Since we're just throwing everything out to the wind here about this, I guess, well, feels like it. I guess I'm really curious as to what the rumor mill is regarding our previous town manager and what she is supposedly up to, that we keep getting all these FOIA requests.
I think it was the access to the information after she left. I think there was a concern there that,
But where's that come from? What's driving that?
you'll have to ask whoever's making the call request.
But I guess my question would be, what's the purpose of it? Because quite frankly, what's she gonna do? Even if she had access to the information, what good does that do her for anything? Cause it's not as if she had some personal stake in the whole issue. She wasn't earning some kind of commission. She wasn't getting anything out of it. So to me, it's those kind of core requests are just, they're harassment to a certain extent. I'm surprised actually she hasn't filed a defamation suit. Just to say.
It's a ton of,
Well, there's a
it's a ton
lot
of
things.
taxpayers' dollars that are being spent on redundant core requests for made up assumptions about stuff, and that's why I'm asking if someone has an idea of where that's come from, why this is the topic of conversation. It'd be helpful for the town to understand it so we can resolve it and stop costing everybody more money.
Well, we're not able to see the attorney's opinions, right? So being able to see the attorney's opinions and what he said needs to be put into the lease and what was actually corresponded to the school board or to the town board, and whether or not those things made it into the lease or not. So you won't, I mean, legally, you can't give up the attorney's opinions, but that would be nice to know, to make sure that what the attorney said got put into the lease. And
Well, and we know
I don't
why, we know
think
why
that
that
that's-
question's come up, I mean, let's just throw it all on the table. That's because there was a breach in the email from the previous mayor's, town account or email account. So that's where this information has come from, that everybody thinks, or not everybody, but a certain number of people thinks that the town didn't follow the legal counsel of the town for the town in this lease. True,
Yeah. well,
you
let's
know
see
it, you
Yeah,
know it, so, not true.
it could have came from any.
I know exactly
Previous
where it
board.
came from.
I think we'll let,
I think we all know where
I
it
think
came
we'll
from.
let Drew clear this up. when we
Yeah.
have an executive
Yeah.
session, and
We
we'll
will,
all review the executive session
so since
rules.
we're throwing it out on the table. If the town is gonna have to do this for the school district, is NNTC gonna have to do it too?
Good question.
Because number one, look at your phone right now, there's 5G in town.
Mhm.
Is the school hollering, or are they hollering about what's going on over here?
I don't think, see, I've heard, and I mean, if Darla was here, she could confirm, but I heard that those are not 5G towers
I heard AT&T come in here and put up a 5G
Mhm.
up there.
on
And
their tower.
And you NGC.
Let's,
Because
I think that we should not
5G
add to the
is strong.
government anymore and
I think
attention.
hearsay.
Let's take a step back.
Yeah.
And sorry, everybody,
Well, it's the
Yeah.
personal attacks, I'm sorry, I usually
So-
will not do that, but you know,
But that's-
When I'm
that's-
being-
That's my question is, are they gonna be
yeah.
having to do the test the same way?
I think that you all as citizens have the right to voice your opinion about how this money may or may not get spent, because it has come before the board. It was part of the conversation with the school board that this testing possibly be done. And you know what? Every one of you, as taxpayers in this community, have the right to decide and tell this board if you want that done or not, and you should. And so when Jessica has that information available,
Well,
And-
I feel the town is being attacked for what they've done, you know? Is the local businesses being attacked across the street for doing it?
Well, and there's the distance and there's the parameters for the distance. So, well, let's put it all out there.
That was
I mean, if, I felt like Vertical Bridge and T-Mobile and Powder River were throwing out the red carpet. Come on in. There was no, talking with NNTC about what they could do for T-Mobile. Why didn't T-Mobile go to the phone company? That's a great question. But I think that NNTC should have been a part of the conversation from the very beginning when cell phone towers were even being talked
I
about.
agree.
But I am concerned about a pattern of things that are happening against the residents of this community. And so this isn't the first instance. Another instance was Clear Networks coming in. When property owners said, no, we don't want you to bore under our property, we want you to go overhead behind us. The town approved them to bore under the brand new sidewalks. It's issues like that that I'm having a concern. There's a reason why 5 employees and 4 trustees are gone from this board
I agree.
in the last year.
I agree.
And so I am trying to figure out why. I am figuring out why. I can understand why. And so to make sure that we can move forward with accountability and making sure that we're moving forward with our community and not against the community is where I'm at. So yes, let's talk to NNTC and see what that is. Is there extra people getting sick, having these symptoms, the tiredness, the tinnitus, their ears, all of these symptoms that could come of this. But yeah, let's look at the distance. Let's look at the RF for all of it, not just this tower, but yes, let's look at it.
You can look at RF all you want. There's RF from the sun, there's RF from everything, from heat. I mean,
Yeah.
Do you have a deadline on when the bid should come in?
I asked for them as soon as possible, then we can schedule our next work session with Weston Public Schools, because it was agreed that we would all go over them together, or board would go over them together, and then a decision would be made. And, yeah, so soon. Before 2020.
and it will be, it'll be noticed just like it was
Yeah,
last
it'll be
time.
very
Neither one of our boards meet without notice, 24 hours minimum, so.
Yeah, what about okay, there were rumors, I don't know if it's happening now or anymore or not, but I was told like 28 kids were gonna be pulled out of the Nucla.
And there's another rumor. Let's just,
Okay.
let's just stop.
So, no, yeah,
But I don't know who's
Plenty of
believing it.
Yeah.
Plenty of rumors.
So did we give them a building permit or a special use or conditional
they
use
have,
permit?
they applied for a building permit just like anyone else, and we're waiting for it to be completed and all their tests, all their stuff that has to come in based on the design and the specs and, you know.
So that all has to come in from
And
the
I-
state
I'll talk-
also,
yeah.
like electrical and.
And I'll talk to the building inspector. I mean, we don't have a lot of experience in, you know, inspecting a tower, but, you know, he's a educated man. He can look through stuff and, you know, move on. Yeah. So, I mean,
Okay, for the sake of time and the fact that we still have lots of things left on the agenda, let's move forward.
Seven.
Is there any, further discussion regarding the land use code meeting that we had, the work session? I mean, I don't know what else there'd be to talk about.
I was just wondering if you guys had a target date in mind you need to get into, if you guys wanted to discuss anything further. Like, do you wanna do it an hour before the next meeting or something, you know, like, cause there was a lot of stuff that kind of needed, or if you wanna have a.
Well, I guess you'd have to give Gabe a deadline for getting
Yeah,
back to.
I think we need to get this stuff from him and then I can talk.
Okay.
You might ask him what the schedule's like and if we need to ask him to advise it.
This next item is still tabled until September, is that correct? Yeah, Blackville.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. All right, no resolutions or ordinances tonight. As I mentioned before, the Water Authority meeting will be Monday, which I think is Sunday night, yeah. We don't. Miranda, did you wanna give any update regarding the chamber this evening since you're present?
Necessarily updates from the chamber, although we're working on some, funding related to economic benefit in the area. My thoughts are kind of leaning more towards the stewardship committee for the West End Vision Plan. And kind of tying in with that land use code discussion, I realize like Montrose County has adopted the West End Vision Plan, but in terms of talking about land use code that applies to here, and working with Montrose County, it's just sort of it's kind of floating to the top of my mind. Well, the West End Vision Plan is very specific to us and moving forward. I guess my comment is just to keep, I know you guys are keeping that in mind as well. But if your intergovernmental agreements are to work with the county regarding land use code or building permit applications, just to kind of really keeping that at the top of the agenda, that what works for them works differently than it does for us, especially when it comes to applying building permit regulations and things like that. So, yeah, I had more of just a West End Vision kind of thing in my mind tonight, so I just wanted to say that.
Thank you. I don't believe we have anyone here to give an update from the West End Dark Sky Alliance. There hasn't been a housing committee meeting since we last had one. Yeah,
Yep.
and West End Economic Development. We'll go to the last meeting.
I didn't. Yeah.
They got any applicants?
We,
You know, I was talking about for Michaela's job. Last I heard
not that I
that they didn't, but I don't know.
I
That's
think
been a
that
while.
kind of came up last week at the USDA thing. I submitted as a. Asking, yeah, anyways, I don't think so. And I haven't heard anything from Winston. It's kind of crazy right now.
They did have a work session with community builders, I had heard, but I don't know how that went or anything. I haven't heard any reports, so. Which is good. I'm glad they did that. Let's move on to our staff reports. Miss Jessica.
I did. Try to keep the manager report fairly small. It's in the drive. I did print out a copy. There's a lot going on with the town of Nucla right now. On a positive note, the new library director went solo today and she is raring to go. And Lori is on call to help her with if she needs anything. She dropped a report to us, and along with it is the survey that she's going to be conducting at Water Days. And she's gonna have a booth and an introduction to the community and kind of see what they want their library, their little public library to look like. And so she's really excited and I'm really excited for her. and she's gonna be great. She came tonight, but we didn't have time to break, and she was gonna introduce, so she'll be here at the next meeting. So there's that, and so, you know, with everything else. So right now we've got some temporary hired, to cover the major things. People who have already been in the departments and kind of know the ropes, so we're going to take a deep breath and recollect. And we've got a few things that are listed in here that we're gonna kind of just take on as a fresh start and just regroup and get some softs in place, standard operating procedures, and maybe some details on a few things that have been, that I'm learning a lot. And as soon as we kind of get to a point, I will ride around, Rod serves one of the temporaries. I'll ride around with him and he'll kind of show me the ropes of the most important things and what Winsley calls about this or that, you know. The splash pad
You'll
should
know
be,
what you're talking.
yeah, I'll know, besides just saying 2,900 road valve, you know, I'll know that actually what we're talking about.
Yeah,
And so the splash pad, we did finally, I think, get a good fix on it. It was hammering so hard, it was breaking through the 90-degree pipe, and so we put steel on it, and that seems to be holding. There was a leak underneath the splash pad that's been draining, but Scott, I think we would kind of talked about that last meeting. They've isolated it and turned that valve off, and so it should stop watering the Grape Street, for the most part. And just a few different things like that, we were just. Yeah.
I'm so glad that's working. Flash, yeah.
Yeah, and last year it was the brain box, and it was really hard to find the brain box for it. It's coming to the end of its lifespan, which we're aware of. And it'll probably be part of the next GoPro something, you know. There's an element engineering update as well in the folder regarding the USDA loans or grants or whatever those are for Mike.
Said there was money. You read it.
Yeah.
Said it looked like there was some money available. I was excited.
I'm not. So, and then, let's see,
Looks like you got your other lake resolved.
what's that?
Looks like you might have got your other lake resolved as well. They're on 10th.
Yeah, naturally drained, you know, like we knew it would, but, they have decided that it's coming from Cooper's Field, you know, coming down and it needs.
It's down that nice gravel conduit.
Yeah.
CC.
Yep, so I'm not sure I haven't touched base with Ward or Mesa on it. In the last 2 weeks, so I'll try to get in touch with them and just get an update, unless Jason's gone. But I think they were engineering it.
From either.
Yeah, I think they were engineering it first.
Well, I'm sure Randy will over engineer it.
Yeah.
Put a sump in,
All right.
put a sump in and a pump and
Lift station and everything.
double dang,
Pretty simple fix.
Single part down there, they can have all the water they want out of it.
So I guess that's in a nutshell. I don't know if there's. We got everybody just kind of helping out and pitching in. We're checking trashes where we can and,
Yeah, I came up here on the weekend and cleaned the screen.
thank you. We appreciate that.
yeah.
And we just, for board trustees to know, we will be changing all the we're just gonna start over and change, all locks are getting changed and. Those and change it up, because we have key rings that have like 5,000 keys on, so we're going to one key. You know, matching, but everything, and then we stamp, do not copy and that one. So. Try to get a grip on.
And
some.
everything's locked up.
And then, yeah, and Rod is helping
Makes everything's
lead us through that project.
secured.
Mhm.
So, I just wanted to thank you for sending out your, whatever this document is, employee subcon hybrid.
Yes, I want to tell you, I'm reading that, I get sidetracked, so, yeah,
I appreciated
I don't know.
the research and the data that you provided for the board's consideration, and I don't know if the board wants to discuss any of that, but I mean, I do appreciate that you spent time to do a little bit of recon on it, so.
I've been in a little bit of panic. What truth comes out? Well, I mean,
Well,
you know,
yeah, you never
calls
know.
are like,
I mean, I helped
"Why
my break
not
loose
be in
in
town?" We're like,
the rain and, yeah.
yeah.
For the contractors, I wanna make sure that, I guess what contractors would we be like soliciting? Like, I wanna make sure that the local contractors
Yeah.
have some sort of, hey, this is what's happening with us and we want you to be a part of the bidding process or whatever. You know, I'd like to see a
think
lot
it-
more local contractors.
I haven't gotten real deep into that part, but I did, like, we could break it out specifically like landscaping contractors, or, you know, like the park, when during the heavy seasons of summer, or like, right now, we're gonna be using a third-party locator, because we have to get our locates done, and Em and I don't know how to do that. And so, you know, just things like that, where it might save some money, you know, in some areas, it's a trade when you're talking about benefits versus, you know, paying flat contractor fees.
Yeah,
That would be always stuff that we need to weigh out, and how long do we wanna continue doing some of them? Do we wanna bring it back in-house eventually? And do we refresh the bids every year, every 6 months, you know, so it gives everybody another equal chance to apply?
nice.
Or do we
Okay.
rotate it? Well, we gave it to this one this time, so this time we're gonna go to this one, and then, you know, I'm not really sure how that should look, to be fair. And then if
Might
we
be a
don't
whole
like them, we
other
don't have to call
session.
them back,
Yeah, yeah,
you know?
yeah. I just wanna make sure we're tapping into all the local ones that
Mhm.
we can.
But I think that would be best first, like. So yeah, that was just the start of that conversation. Thank you, Heather. I know
No, it
tonight
was
we
a
have
great
some
idea.
edits, so, you know.
My conversation starts and ends with no. So I prefer to fish for employees, sorry.
I think though that there's some merit to some of the things that she brought up because, you know, it's not like we have an excess number of applications in the last couple times that we've done this. And, you know, if you think about it, sometimes you find that that person that has aptitude to do the majority of the job that we need in public works, but may not have the aptitude as you do to study, take tests and do all those things to get those certifications. And so I'm just thinking it's gonna be very individualized what we're able to, the person we're gonna be able to attract and hire into that spot. And also, are we paying enough money to attract the person that we have, you know, on paper in that job description? And so I did a little bit of research yesterday as far as looking at some of the public works, salary schedules in the near area and stuff. I'm not thinking that we're really far off course in comparison to Natarita, Norwood, Dove Creek, those places. But I also think that it's not apples for apples. I mean, the benefit packages are different. The requirements in the job are different. I think we're gonna have to have some flexibility to hire, you know, but that's just,
That's
A thought.
maybe- Yeah,
you know.
I prefer to spend more time looking and seeing if we can pull in employees or not, so.
Yeah, I wanna get the right people too.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
in the past, we've been told that we had the right people and that wasn't really the case.
Not always.
In conversation,
Sometimes you don't know until you know.
over the last few days, you
But then
know,
you gotta do something about it if you know.
Yeah, correct.
it was brought up that, you know, if you're patient and find the person who cares, it's a small town. They need to give a darn about the little things or the big things. And I'm not saying that nobody has cared. It's just that is something like if we were to have somebody come in from out of town, just have a genuine like for Nucla, or, you know, that makes
Take pride in the community.
Yeah, just realize that
They gotta
we
take
live
pride in what they do and what, and the people that town.
Yeah,
Well, you
And-
got one application tonight, Mr. Smith.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
he's gonna pick it up.
Yeah, well, Christina said that the new, provider they're hiring, her husband does construction. So he's been a contractor, you know, so, of course, Jason's not gonna resign Williams, but, you know.
But he's got it.
There goes that pay scale.
And we're not other people's good employees.
Okay.
But I do think it would be a great alternate on the MW, yeah, with those
I've already.
or Mustang water, yeah.
Yeah.
You got on board at the right time, cause you can feel it.
Apparently, I know Donnie Sickles is thinking about it again.
Well, hopefully we get some applications and have some people to choose from an interview, so it'll be great.
I feel like we're on a good path. I feel like as of today, I wasn't quite so panicked and having a heart attack.
So the one who applied for the city manager, town manager, that you and Paul, like, does anybody actually try to reach out and contact him directly to see if he was interested?
I tried to poach him. He didn't respond. I sent him, I told him that we were out restructuring and here are the descriptions. And he didn't respond.
Okay.
I shared with Jessica, I mean, from the interview we had. He didn't seem like that kind of person. If he made a commitment and took a job with this company, he's probably not likely just gonna up and quit here.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so, I mean, that,
guess we have to.
that shows he has some integrity, which is good, so, yeah. All right, let's move along. Do you guys have any questions regarding the staff reports before I jump forward here? Everybody's good, okay. I wanted to give you guys a brief update. We did have another Main Street Business and Property Owners meeting on the 22nd. The following day, I got MOU from CDOT, which I actually piggybacked that onto your agendas as well as the quote. That was regarding the signage changes on Highway 141 and removing the Nucla loop signs. So,
One of them's already removed, I think. It's been gone for a while. The one down by
I
the
know
power
it
plant
has
has.
been, but I think this would, it would require a vote of the board for my signature on that MOU. And the quote, I think, my computer died, but I want to say, wasn't it like 4,200 or something? Can anybody open that and take a look?
What's an MOU open? I love that those are all connected to the agenda.
Yes, sir.
So bringing up the signage, down there, at Dove Creek
4281.
goes Natarita, Whitewater, Grand Junction,
Mhm.
so. I mean, Whitewater is a lot smaller than we are.
Yeah, well, we're looking at, I mean, these signs that we're gonna be putting up off of 141, I mean, the town will not only be paying for them, they'll be responsible for them in the future also, so. I don't know, are you suggesting having Nucla added to the sign in Dove Creek, is that what you're thinking, or?
Be nice, that, that a little bit farther out, there's another viable town
More life on
in the area.
planet.
Yeah, I don't know, that'd be worth discussion, I guess, but, I mean, once you get here, that's where we want the signs to say that we're here.
That we're here, we exist.
Yeah. And so if you came from Highway 141 from Dove Creek, before you get to where the power plant turnoff is, that's what we all call it, Highway 90, there would be a sign that says Nucla and the number of miles, and there would also be.
Well, that would help, because right now, it says Norwood, Natarita.
That's what we're talking about, that's what they're talking about tonight, and it would also include the icons that show that we have fuel, lodging.
A little person laying in a bed, maybe.
Well, there's 4 of them, I'm sorry, blank right now, but, and that would also be the same cases before you get to Calamity at the other side. It'd be the same things there, so, anyway. And then the next step, and I haven't worked on this yet, but I'll be working on it with Jessica, is we'll be coming up with some signs for the county to put up for us that are those additional signs from 141 actually to Main Street in Nucla, but we wanted to get this kind of thumbs up on it first, and then we'll move on that next level, so. And because I can't get to my email at the moment here, I believe the quicker we act on this, the better, because once we approve it, they will actually send it to their sign making shop in Denver, which they said could be several weeks out, and we won't get a bill on this until they're already installed. And they're saying the installation could be early fall. So it's gonna take a little time. We should try to move forward as quickly as you guys are.
What was the number you said you found it?
4281.
Thank you.
Seemed like much.
Yeah, that's for the materials and the installation.
And I did verify with them that they would be in that work order removing the Nucla loop signs that do exist and cleaning all that up. At the same time, they confirmed they would, so.
I'll make that motion to approve the MOU.
Thank you.
And I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the MOU with CDOT regarding the Highway 141 signs. Amy?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
I vote yes. Tim?
Yes.
Penny?
Yes.
Motion carried. Okay, I'll get that printed off and, signed and back to them tomorrow. The other things that we discussed at the meeting, there were several things, but I'll just give you the highlights here. There wasn't an update on the Rimrocker Trail reroute, but I did do a follow-up email to the commissioners. Actually, yesterday, I think, and Commissioner Pond did reply back. He's the only one that has at this point and said that he would be glad to meet. So I'll try to follow up and see. I was hoping that maybe I'd get to meet with all of them, or they would just say, meet with Erica, figure out the plan, and then we'd go from there. So I don't really have a really strong update for you right now on that. I think there's an easy solution though, I do. The other thing we discussed was the Wild West Quilt Trail, and Rosella Childs and Cassie Farmer were there to talk about that. And the whole group is super excited about expanding that and getting on the Wild West Quilt Trail, which they say, I don't know too much about this. Amy probably knows a little more since she has a barn quilt on the Vestal House. But they really want to encourage more businesses and even like the town and different entities to have a barn quilt designed to place on our buildings, our barns, or it can be all kinds of different things. And then try to get this quilt trail registered so that it becomes kind of a different type of destination traveler thing. And it also can incorporate the history of our area. So a lot of barn quilts have, different meanings to different people. So there's just a ton of possibilities. This is very high level, what I'm telling you. There's way more to it. Cassie's gonna work on like a one pager of more information so that we can share that to more people and have a better understanding of how it will work. So as that develops, I'll bring you guys the information that we get. And the last thing is one of the items that we have on the agenda for our next meeting, which is next month, which is to look at designs and talk about possibilities for a new welcome sign to Nucla.
No more garage.
Well, I don't know. I
We
mean,
can incorporate that somehow. 'cause it's
everybody's
kind of a
everybody's
thing.
got different conversations about all that, so. But that is, we know it's gonna be kind of a big conversation and everybody's gonna bring some different design ideas and we're just gonna talk that out with a bunch of other stuff, but. I just kinda wanted to give you guys a heads up that it's part of the conversation. And if you guys wanna come be a part of it, you're welcome to, so.
When's the next meeting?
Yeah, I'll tell you, I don't remember, I didn't write that down. July. Don't know. I'm looking. I think it's on my notes. I know I sent a calendar reminder for it. July 20th at 6 p.m. Yeah,
At the community center.
at the community center. Oh, could you book that?
Yes.
Oops. Well, we have it here. And then I have one more thing that's not related to the Main Street property owners meeting, which, did you guys have any questions about any of that, or, okay. I had a call today from Lisa Ghosh with Montrose County GIS. And she was letting me know that they review plats, for the city of Montrose. And I think Olathe, and they are offering to do the same thing for Nucla, and they're gonna contact Natarita also. So what that means is when there's a plat submitted, they would review it before it comes to the board for approval, hopefully eliminating any issues with the plat being recorded. So I told her that I'd bring it up to you all this evening and see what your thoughts are about that and let her know.
It's just issues the county might have with it.
I can tell you that the plat that was approved for my property has other issues. And one of them is that it can't be signed by Jessica. It has to be signed by myself or the mayor pro tem. So that's one of the issues. I don't know the others, she's gonna send an email out that has whatever other questions there are about it.
But
So it's kind of twofold. To let me know that I recorded it, but it has problems, and the other was to offer their services for those reviews so that they go through a little smoother.
Yeah, I certainly.
yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Sean. Shockingly.
Full information, the only thing, pretty imminent coming up, I don't, Jessica I have talked about it a little bit on, is the time capsule.
We're still, was wanting to talk to Jane and Sharon about this, yeah, so I don't have an update and I haven't talked to the other two parties yet.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know, I can't speak for both of them, so I haven't.
When was it put in the dirt?
It was put in April of 1976,
1976, and it's supposed to be
out this year.
out in
Wait.
July. And.
Oh, it's not
reviewed,
date specific,
And then reburied.
it wasn't date specific. I
Yeah.
did look at that
You did look
because
at
I
that,
talked to
okay.
Sharon about it.
Just
Yeah.
in a year sometime.
Yeah. So we had hammered back a little outline of maybe what to do and we'll update the paper and.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just so everyone.
Okay, so you squirreled us there, but are you guys a yes on the Montrose GIS?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Both of you, alright. Well, that's like, where did we go from talking about Montrose GIS to the time caps, Dawn?
Cause you're almost finished.
I know, we're gonna be, thank goodness, we've been here for a long time. Anything else that the board has as far as updates or announcements to share with each other?
I attended the Jolt conference last week, which is really informative. I've got an article coming out tomorrow on that. But if there's any specific questions, definitely, still talking to Matt Solomon about, the integrated energy system. And, the Department of Energy stuff that we had talked about a couple months ago when we did that letter of support. I'm gonna get with Brad Sikorsky too and get those two connected and see what our possibilities are for some kind of an integrated system. Other than that, I've been working on stuff with Club 20. I'm now the vice chair of the Public Lands and Natural Resources Committee. So I'm super excited about learning from all of those people on public land issues. So that I can bring them here and make sure that we're protected from a national monument. But yeah, I'm just continuing to work with them and the executive committee on policies for the Western Slope. But other than that, I'm doing my little front porch conversations. I had one person stop by and yell at me, but I want people to feel free to stop in and talk to me if they need to. Unknown.
Keeping the letter on the board. Were we gonna address that SFPA request? For the battery?
Oh, that was in the email. Yeah.
Did I miss that? I think I did. Or did I forward it to you?
It was Tri-State actually, it's not as.
Oh, Sarah
That
Carlisle.
was the thing that
Sarah Carlisle. She did ask me about that and make sure you got it.
I got it, and I
Okay.
sent it to y'all, so. Whatever you want to do with it, I'll sign it, but I wasn't gonna sign it without the board approval, and that was the drafted letter that was submitted. So if you want changes to it, then that's also, thank you for bringing that up, cause I forgot about it, really.
And that'll be on the east side of Montrose County over there
I have
somewhere.
no idea.
Yeah.
That was one thing I was gonna ask, where is that supposed to be?
They had talked about that. Oh, in one of the Samuel Power meetings last year, when we were talking about the solar, they were talking about,
I didn't.
The
know
battery
if they meant
storage.
anything about where it would be, they were just, at the time,
It
I
was
thought they were
east.
just talking
it
about.
was East
Chandler.
End. Yeah, they were gonna spread it over there. But I
That should
thought
be
the letter
voted
was
on if you
fine.
guys are gonna that should be voted on if you wanna do it.
Sure, I'd say put the thing over there, see how many acres you can burn down.
Did you guys
That's
all
your-
see, did you see that?
I have no problem sending in the letter as it was, whatever needed to be finished up on it, so.
Make a motion.
Oh, okay, I make a motion, we send in the letter of support for Tri-State on their battery storage facility that's closing.
Second. A motion and a second to approve the letter of support to Tri-State for the battery storage. You know, whatever it is, Amy,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
I'll vote yes, Tim,
Yeah,
Penny, yes. Okay, I'll get that one signed and sent back to.
I think they said that was worth another 800,000 to pay it forward.
Oh, yeah, we wish.
Yeah.
I'll take the 400 though. It's better than the 50 we got in the very beginning. So,
Kind of a slap in the face.
oh, that was a rough time.
Anything else for the good of this meeting this evening? If not, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn. Very quick at that.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Hey, then.
Making throw, and it seems like, oh, maybe I have another.
So where there's.
Oh my God, those yards are soaking wet.
Okay.
Contract for Grayson.
This was,
General?
just in general. No worries.
You got my number?
I do, I will,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
But good to know, I will let,
Go say, go work again.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Mike can ask.
Yeah, because that's.
Hoping it rained enough so I don't have to water. That would be amazing.
So we'll go back to documentation, okay.
The sanitary sewer order still has to stay within 24 hours.
See you next one. Yeah. Did you get something?